Hey, y'all know I'm back at it again. Coach Johnson here again with y'all. So y'all, how y'all feeling? How y'all feeling? How y'all feeling? Look, y'all, we got some great special guests coming on today. I had a pleasure of meeting them on Mission Mondays. Great people. Miss Jules coming on. Her husband, Mr. Desmond, is coming on as well. So thank you for them as well. We also have some heartbeats coming on as well today to basically, just to talk with them as well. Finish up kind of some conversation that we had on Monday. I know my Mission Monday people that's in here as well and kind of already know who I'm talking about. So we're going to kind of get on with that as well. But I just want to do my little check in. How's everybody doing? Did it go off? Oh, okay, cool. I was ready to say because I ain't see myself for a second and it went off. All right, so let me see in the chat. Okay, what's up, Jim? What's up, Naeem? What's up, Jim? What's up, Naeem? What's up, Antonio? What's up, Niasia? What's up, Kayla? What's up, Yolanda? Donovan? What's up, Cam? What's up, Antonio? What's up with Santana? Naeem? What's up? What's up? What's up? How are you, Coach? I'm good. I'm good. I had a productive day today. Um, what's up? Yeah, I had a productive day today, guys. I went to I'm good. One more week since school's over. Yes, definitely. I had to go to the NBA today for some paperwork for as far as trying to get my passport done. Let me tell you the story real quick. First of all, on my birth certificate, my name is spelled Mario, middle name so Mario, but my actual name is Marlo. So in order for me to get my passport, I got to get my name switched over to the right name. So I went to NBA today, try to get that done. You know what I'm saying? I go back tomorrow. But long story short, make sure your doctors don't mess your I and the L up when you get born. That's all I'm gonna say. Cause yeah. Cam said tomorrow is fifth grade graduation. That is nice. That is nice. Cam said she got her tags today. Okay, Cam. Yeah, I think tomorrow is dead. I said dead. Tomorrow is Douglas graduation. So I'm probably gonna go out there tomorrow and see Douglas tomorrow just graduate. Give my support as an alumni, as a person. You know what I'm saying? But anyways, how you guys feeling? How you guys doing today? Cam said she got her tags today. Yes, sir. So we see Cam when we driving real soon. Anybody else that want to talk about that day real quick as well? I also got like one announcement for you guys as well. I screen keep going black. Like it just keep going black. I can see myself go black and then come back out. I don't know what's wrong, so we gonna try and fix that real soon. But like I said, I was doing a back to school event. Yeah, did he freeze? I don't know. That's what I'm saying, Donovan. Like it keep freezing. Like I don't know. It just keep going out. So let me see. Let me check real quick, y'all, because I do not want nothing else to be messing this up today. I know yesterday they did have an outage in my neighborhood, so it ain't working today. Like it's working today, but like it might go in and out. I don't know. So please forgive me, but now I'm good. Everybody say I'm good now. So cool, cool, cool. So if I freeze out again, y'all already know what's going on. I can't even hear him. Oh wow. If y'all can hear me, just send me some hearts in the chat or something like that. I just want to make sure like it ain't like the connection is not going in and out. Like I don't know what's going on, y'all. But I was saying, back to school event in August. I'm hosting a big event. I want to be back to school, like supplies, like book bags, pencils, crayons, coloring books, paper, everything of that nature. I want to have like vendors again. Last year, well 2 years ago, because we had COVID, but we had vendors, we had food trucks, we had DJ. I think it was DJ Five Star. Miss Joni got. What else we had? Miss Joni got an award that day. What else? It was a lot. We had Elder perform. I think we had a Maya perform that day too. So it was a good turnout. This year I kind of want to be the same big turnout again. Everybody to come out. Anybody that's looking to basically want to just help out with the event, let me know. Send me a text message, a DM, Instagram, email, and things like that. I definitely got y'all. So we definitely can be able to do that back to the school event because I definitely want to be able to get back to the community. But again, y'all, like I said, y'all, we about to bring our special guest on today. I know, like I said, we got two special guests, Miss Jewel and her husband. So thank you for that. Thank y'all for coming on for that. And then we got two more heartbeat mentors coming on. We got Zion, we got Soul today as well. So that's definitely gonna be a banger. So it's gonna be Crouchy for real alive. But we're gonna have a good session. Everything will be great. Yeah, I think our guest ready to start coming on in a few seconds. But yeah, what's up, Bless? How you feeling? How you doing today? I'm doing good. I'm doing good. Donovan said I love them. Yes, definitely. Like Mission Mondays was like crazy. Like with this and this Monday when they came on and they just started talking about like relationships and talking about like your anger and how you talk and things like that. We had a lot of people engaged into the conversation, so I really appreciate that one. So that's definitely gonna be one. Yeah, that's definitely Crouchy for real, Gemma, for real. And shout out to Gemma too, y'all. Shout out to Gemma. Gemma's going to be. She's running for president at her school. So I try to sign up. I can't do it. I don't have BCPS email anymore. So y'all definitely go and sign up for her. But she definitely is going up for president this next year. So definitely make sure y'all vote for her. I believe Lene was doing it too. I don't know what happened with Lene, but I think Lene is now the SGA president too. So shout out to Lene for that one. And yeah, as far as I think that's about it. As far as people's going for president, I think that's far about people going for president. I don't know. One man Bless said they were my favorite too. Facts. Jimmy said not you try to vote. I did. Like I saw it on your story in a little link, and I pressed it, and it was like you don't have permission to vote. And I was like, oh, maybe because I've been out of school for like 2 years. So I was just like, anyways, it is what it is. Like I'm gonna just tell everybody else to go vote. So y'all go vote. There we go. What's up, Miss Jewel, Mr. Desmond? What's up, Soul? What's up, Zion?
Hey, y'all.
Hey, how are you?
How you guys feeling today?
Good.
Oh, wow.
That's good. So again, guys, like welcome to Winning Wednesday. Miss Jewel, Mr. Desmond, I met you guys pretty this Monday. You met Soul, you met Zion this Monday as well. This is Winning Wednesday. Basically we just gonna have, same time as like same thing as like Mission Monday, basically conversation, good vibes, everything, like people in the comments. They'll let us know. But like again, like I did Monday, I'm gonna let the show go into you this you had a great impact on us this Monday, so I'm glad to see you today. So but this is the show. So that's it.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Coach Johnson. We are like so excited to be back with you all. We were on a serious high after Monday. It was such great engagement,
right?
Great conversations. And I'm not saying that we didn't expect that, but just the beauty of being able to have conversations and relatable conversations was amazing for us. And we hope that you all took away a lot of gems.
Yes, definitely.
You came back ready today to, stay engaged and to share how you feel, to ask more questions, right?
Definitely.
So for those of you on the call today who do not know who we are at all, so my name is Jewel. You can call me Miss Jewel, Coach Jewel. This is my husband, Desmond.
You can call me Desmond, Coach Desmond, or Jewel's husband.
So we are the creators of a book called Dear Black Men, right? So we didn't get to talk about this on Monday, so you're here at the right time.
Okay.
So in 2018, right, I told the story a little bit. My husband and I were just about 2 years into our marriage. And it was getting a bit challenging of how we could communicate with each other, right, in a way that each other could receive it. I feel like a lot of us in life, we are pressed towards relationships and we don't know how to engage it. We don't know how to maintain it. We have an idea in our mind of what it looks like. And this also extends to like our friendships, right? Our expectations inside of our friendships. This person should do something for me. They should do this thing. And we haven't had a conversation about it, right? So Dear Black Men came about because as my husband was telling me about things that I was doing that made him feel a certain way, that wasn't respectful for him or was, just hurtful to him, I started to ask him open-ended questions. So my natural sense at that point was to be defensive. Somebody's checking me, right? How is it that I'm doing something wrong at this point? But once he started creating safe space for me, right? And we talked a little bit about safe space on Monday. A lot of people said vulnerability lives in safe spaces, right? No judgment lives in safe spaces. Somebody else tell me what else lives in safe space, right? As we go and talk about this. So as he started doing those things for me, I said, you know what? If he can create a safe space for me, why can't I create a safe space for him, right? This is a mutual thing. So I started asking open-ended questions. I was also going through mediation training around the same time. So I was learning how to listen to understand, right? So how many of you all out there actually listen to understand
Not responding
when someone is talking to you? So I'm gonna need to see that in the chat. Do you listen to understand or do you listen to respond? Okay.
Pretty quiet over there.
I want to see some things pop up in the chat,
it's pretty
right?
quiet.
Let's see.
Can y'all hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
I can hear you.
Okay. I'm going to just answer the question while they come in. I think it depends on the situation. So if I honestly don't care, if I don't care about the situation or I don't feel that much for the person, I'm going to listen to respond. Or I'm just going to say okay and not even listen at all or respond. And then if I really genuinely care about the situation or I want to be heard and I want them to be heard and I truly want to understand, then I'm going to listen to understand rather than respond. Like sometimes it's not being smart, but I don't know what to say after some people tell me stuff, but I understand what they're saying, if that makes sense.
You hear them, you're not listening to them. I get it.
Yeah. Can you guys hear me as well?
Yes.
Yes, I would have to agree with Trackstar. I feel like when I get triggered is when I don't listen. Or I just listen to respond. Like when I feel triggered and I go into that fight or flight mode, my initial reaction is to just fight. So now I'm just responding. I don't even care what you gotta say. I don't care if you're right. I'm just gonna respond because now I'm getting defensive because I'm triggered. And that's something that I'm working through, that I've noticed and I'm self-aware of. But yeah, in certain situations, if I don't care about the situation, if I've already said my piece and I feel like the conversation is going nowhere, after a while, I'm not going to listen to you. It just is what it is.
Got it.
Can y'all hear me?
Yes.
Good. Yo, all right. So real quick, I'm sorry. My signal keep going in and out. I had to go to my hotspot. So,
good.
But I heard the question. I definitely, you guys asked this question Monday, and Mr. Desmond, what you said to me basically still with me, instead of being a hawk, and trying to, was triggering me, and stop being so loud and not understand what they're saying. So yes, at first, I did, just listening to read, just listening to respond, but now I got to listen. Now I realize I got to listen to understand because all was not okay. How I put this. Everything that's said to me doesn't need to be responded. You know what I'm saying? And I don't have to respond to everything that you said. Sometimes I have to basically just take what it is. You understand what I'm saying? Listen to it. Break it down, dissect it, and then actually go forth from there. But responding to it might not be the right thing at that time, especially in the heat of the moment. Because you might say something that you don't like to say, and it hurts somebody else's feelings. So yeah, that's what I learned how to do.
Right. So I want to read some of these comments real quick, and then I'll come back to you, Zion. It says, getting triggered for me is like being a whole different person. Right?
Very good.
Right? We talked about
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's the Hulk theory.
Right. Coach Desmond talked about Hulk theory. So let's go back through the Hulk theory for people who weren't here.
Okay. Yeah, I appreciate you asking me that. Right? You see how I'm smiling, right? So forgive me, I'm over here sweating like a crackhead, y'all. Forgive me. Some of y'all see me wiping. I ain't took no drugs. So the Hulk theory, right? So when he's banner, right, he's calm and you can listen to him, we can talk, right? And then he gets to this moment where he gets mad, right? But instead of controlling himself, he'll tell other people not to make him mad, right? So he gets mad, and then what happens when he gets mad? Not only does he transform into somebody else, but what happens when he turns into somebody else?
Be breaking everything,
right? And it doesn't matter what it is or who it is, he gonna break it because he mad, right? So let's think about that's us, right? We just having a real big temper tantrum because that's all that it is. It's a temper tantrum, right? For however long it lasts, and then when he comes down, he's the dot again. How does he feel?
Feels calm. He back to himself.
Right, but what is the feeling he's feeling for the other people? He's feeling remorseful, right? Because like, I lost control again, right? What he not understanding is he has the ability to control himself if he just composes himself. A lot of times when we get in these arguments, we snap, just like Jules said about listening to respond, right? I'm listening. You said something, I'm like, bop, I'm in the Hulk already, right? I'm the Hulk already. But if we listen to understand, we're taking that breath, and now we can hear what they saying, and what they said may have not been like we heard it. Because once we hear something we don't like, we don't really listen to the 5 words. We got to that 3rd word, and we gone, right? And a lot of that comes from, and I'll wrap it up, a lot of that comes from us not being heard. But with that being said, we still have control of ourselves. And if we all sit here and say we don't want to turn into the Hulk, then if I may, why we keep doing Hulk things?
Yeah, man. I'm always the Hulk. Like when I get mad,
right?
If you say something wrong, like I know I have came to realization, not even in relationships, but just friendships. Like I have anger issues. I know I do. You know what I'm saying? And I can realize that. But it's to the point where like I have anger issues to a certain point. Like some things are cool. I might get annoyed. Like it's stages for me. It's like it's levels. Like at first it's irritation, then I'm annoyed, then I just want to be myself, and then the last one is like, all right, now I'm just ready to cuss everybody out. Anybody in my way gonna feel it. You're gonna feel this wrath. But it's like now I had to realize like before I even get to the annoyed part, the second level, you know, I just need to calm myself down and actually talk how I and well not talk, but say how I feel in a respectful manner. And if you know I can be able to de-escalate the situation before you even get higher than what it is, then I would like to do that. Because me turning into the Hawk and then after and then back when I'm back cool and I'm back to being Coach Johnson, now I feel sad because I done hurt your feelings, you know. You don't want to talk no more, you don't want to relationship no more because I done said things that I didn't supposed to say. And Miss Jules said, I'm sorry, I don't want to keep bringing up what y'all said on Monday, but it was
that's fine. Let's recap.
When Miss Jules said, I think it was Soul too, but she was like, when you mad and you say things you don't mean, you're not saying things you don't mean. You're saying what you mean. You just don't want to say it at that time, or you don't know how to say it, and then it just come out. So that's a whole nother thing right there. So yeah.
So just allow me to say, like when we get mad, we want to blame the anger for our feelings, and that's really how I feel. But I'm gonna say because I'm mad, and now because I'm not typically mad, I didn't mean it. So we hide behind it. So we can being a coward in a sense, right? Using our anger as a way to say how we really feel. Or like when people do with jokes, we need to stop that, man, because if we continue to communicate like that, we never going to communicate in a way that's productive in the relationships that we're in, even with ourselves.
Right. So I want to go over to Zion.
Yo, I just left out my niece party. This is really crazy that we're talking about this with the anger thing. So first I started being angry like all today because it was just I was hungry, it's hot, all that. So I'm already annoyed. So then like my niece's uncle, like I'm not related to him. He had something to say. So I'm like, okay, all right, this is every year with you. We got the same niece. Like, calm it down for real. So then I was like, you know what? I'm gonna just walk out because if I say something I want to say, then I'm being wrong, whatever. Like but I wanted to build off this. So she said something about something about not being understood. So if I feel like I'm not being understood, then at this point I'm not going to understand you or whatever. Because I can try like, what do you mean and stuff like that. But if you don't just if you just seem like you're not listening to me, then I don't want to talk. And I have a habit of thinking I'm right all the time, which I'm working on. Which I'm working on. So, but when I honestly feel like I'm right, or I'm feeling like I said on Monday, don't tell me how to feel. Like, I'm right about my feelings. If I'm not right about anything, I know how I feel. I know myself. Don't tell me what to do. Don't tell me what to do. So it's just a simple fact. It's just a simple fact. That's also what built up my anger. Like, all right, now I'm about to shut down, and I'm not going to care what you're going to say. I don't care what nobody got to say. Just leave me alone. And that's why I keep shutting down. Like, y'all remember the ghosting thing? Just had to ghost somebody. Like, you're not gonna tell me how to feel, like, for real.
So it's good. You at least now you have a boundary for people not telling you how you should feel, right? Good, bad, or indifferent. That's very good to keep that, right? So now we need those same boundaries when we having a conversation with somebody and we're listening, right? Because a lot of times if we just listen, we don't even have to say a word. People be like, "Oh, that was a great conversation," and all you did was listen. Listening is the easiest way and the fastest way you can show somebody respect.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you can't think about it, nothing else, listening is the fastest way you can get what you want. I promise you.
Because everybody wants to be heard and understood.
Yep.
Right.
But listen,
that's universal. Go ahead.
Sometimes, and I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, Mitchell. I apologize. But sometimes when you just listen to somebody, because it happens to me. Like, say, for instance, if I'm in a relationship with somebody or anything, or friendship, whatever the case may be, and they're talking, and I'm just listening to hear what they got to say and understand, and you don't respond. Some people take that as disrespect. Or so you're just gonna sit there, like, you'd be like, okay, cool, I understand how you feel, and then you'd be like, okay, cool, is that all you got to say? Is that all you got to say? And I'm like, yeah, I'm just listening to what you're saying. Like, it don't have to be a response to what you're saying every time. So don't take me saying, okay, cool, I understand, or I understand how you feel, I understand why you feel that way as a disrespect, because I'm not disrespecting you. I'm just literally understanding what you're saying, and there's nothing for me to really say, because if I say something, like, I don't even want to say I say something and I don't mean it, because we're not even gonna say that no more. If I say it, I mean it. That's a point blank period. But if I might not have nothing to respond at that moment. I might just want to actually just listen to what you have to say so I can understand and go about how I can move about the next time.
Yeah, I think honestly that takes maturity, because I just went through somebody. I'm like, it's nothing for me to say. Like, I don't know what you want me to say, and they tell me that I don't care. Yeah, I don't know how many times. Don't tell me how I feel. So it's just a simple fact of everything doesn't need a response, and we learned that from Ms. Jones. Like, it's just simple things. Like, everything don't need a response. I'm not going to text you back if it's not worth my time. Like, it's just me. Like, and then I'm not going to respond and saying, okay, like, all the time I'm not being smart. I just need you to understand. If you want me to understand you, I need you to understand how I talk, how I listen, how I communicate. If you want me to do the same thing with you. But if you're communicating is being aggressive and fussing all the time, get off my phone, for real.
Yeah. You don't pay this phone bill. You don't pay this $100 phone bill. Yeah, go.
So y'all brought up a bunch of good points.
Right.
A bunch of good points. Stuff that I was thinking about, and Zion, you talked about it. So when we're in conversation, we need to know who we're in conversation with. I heard you in the beginning when you said, if I don't really care,
right,
I ain't listening, right? So maybe there's another step before we get to hearing the conversation, right? Maybe it's, I'm not in a position to listen right now. I know you're going through it, but I'm not the right person for you to talk to right now. I can't give you what you need. Because if I let you cross my boundary, and now I'm ignoring you, now I am disrespecting this engagement, right? Because I didn't tell you how I was feeling.
I didn't draw that boundary.
Right? And sometimes we find ourselves people just ready to dump everything on us. But we can stop. We can pause, right? Mm-hmm. Mr. Desmond always says, take that breath, because it gives you a moment to think. Don't allow someone to drag you into their stuff if that's not where you're ready to go, right? I saw that Cam also said that, I say to a person, if I want you to give me advice or if I just want you to listen. That's another thing Mr. Desmond does, even in coaching. Like, if somebody's calling him, he's like, all right, what do you want me to do? Do you want me to listen, or you want my advice, or you want a little bit of both?
No,
I mean, it's a good way to vet.
So it may seem like it's a lot to do, right? But we need to understand when a person asks us for our opinion, or they ask us they want the truth, they let us in, right? So now whatever we say isn't taken offensively because we asked them and they allowed us in, right? It might seem like a lot. It might seem like you sugarcoat. No, if the goal is to get through the person, how does it matter? Why does it matter what package it comes in? Mm-hmm. If that's the goal, right? And if the goal is just to say what you want to say, by all means, say what you want to say, but you might not get the results you want. So for me, because I've been both people, and now I'm a person that wants to get through to y'all, right? So even if that means I got to change my whole language, but you get my message, me getting my message to you is more important than how I say it to you.
Mm-hmm.
What happened?
Yeah.
Please.
No, yeah, I was ready to say the ways you said changing your language and how you talk to people. Can we talk about that too? Because it's different languages you can talk to people and different in most how you talk to people. Because if you're talking to somebody in a high pitched tone language and that's all you're gonna do all the time, and then you talking to someone like, yeah, I understand. So it's two different type of language, two different type of tone. My apologies, two different type of tones. You know what I'm saying? So if I'm talking to you in a calm, peaceful tone, you're more likely to hear me out to what I have to say. You know what I'm saying? Like just because you're yelling doesn't mean your points won't get across.
Right.
You yelling, thinking your point will get across. Whole time it's not. You just yelling and making that person close their ears and not want to listen to what you got to say. But if you calm down, sit down, and actually have a one-on-one conversation and use your inside voice and talk, you understand what I'm saying? Then you be able to get to that person because now they probably will understand and be like, okay, he's actually talking to me. He's actually understanding me. Because I looked at it myself. Like I'm the type of person where as though if I get mad, like if I'm talking to you, another thing is, and I don't want to go off topic, but another thing, if I'm talking to you and like you start doing other things as I'm talking to you, like leaving out of the room or, not giving me eye contact or getting your phone, and I'm going to get mad. I'm going to get mad and I'm going to start yelling. Then I'm going to get to the hawk and then my tone going to change. I don't want to do that for myself. You know what I'm saying? So I want to be able to come to a point where as though me and you can both have a talk in our inside voices, you know what I'm saying? No phones, no other people outside, no nothing, you know what I'm saying? No, just us two having a mature conversation. And if we can't have a mature conversation without you being on your phone or without you doing this and the third, then we shouldn't have a conversation at all.
Period.
Yeah.
Wait, can we go back? I'm sorry. Can we go
No, we can go back.
Yes.
Let me say three things, then we can go right back. Keep that 1 second. So what happens, right? If we take the time to break down the conversation, have the conversation the way both of us can receive it, right? And now you trust me when we talk, right? Now I get to talk to you whichever way I want, right? Now I can be as loud as I want. I can be as ugly as I want because you know that I'm not speaking in a way to hurt your feelings. I'm just speaking on how I feel. But it takes for us to build that rapport up front first, right? It takes that rapport. And touching what you just said, if you know you're a person that needs intentional conversation before you start having conversations with bigger people, I need your undivided attention. That's something that you do. And if you ask that, then you have to make sure that you are the person that is doing that. You can't do that for them, and then you buzz off. You understand what I'm saying? Lead by example. Okay, please repeat. Please.
Go ahead, so.
Yeah, I want to go back and really speak about what like Zion and Drew was talking about a little bit early, and also something else. We was just talking about like being triggered and stuff like that. So one thing that I've noticed for me, and just like based on like my own personal trauma, is that the hardest conversations that I ever had were with people who actually knew how to communicate. Those were the most triggering conversations for me because for the longest time, when you are the person and you're dealing with toxic people, sometimes you kind of put the blame on them, like, oh, they don't know how to communicate. Oh, even though they may not, just because they're not communicating in the same way as you or the way that you want.
Absolutely. Come on.
When I started talking with people who actually knew how to communicate, it made me realize that I actually also don't know how to communicate. So those were like the most triggering, and it was really hard because people would tell me things or like tell me about myself, and it would never be in like a bad way. People would give me criticism and feedback, but instead of actually hearing what they were actually saying, I was hearing what I wanted to hear. So somebody told me like, oh, okay, so like you need to like maybe work on your tone or something like that. Oh, so you pretty much saying that I'm rowdy. So you said I'm rowdy.
Right.
Like
that part right there.
Right.
You trying to say I can't talk? Like,
but see, that's beautiful, right? Right there's a perfect example of listening to understand opposed to respond, right?
Yeah.
You know, I have somebody
said, like Cam
why
said,
ask me my opinion if you're gonna feel some kind of way? Just because I ask you something, don't mean that I have to put my feelings on it.
Yeah.
Because now we talk about emotional maturity, right?
That's a lot of things, and Mr. Desmond, I'm so glad you touched on that because a lot of conversations don't need feelings involved into the conversation. You know what I'm saying? It don't.
I'm not going to disagree, but I'm going to say this: one, we need to stop trying to separate feelings because that's what makes us human. What would be advantageous is an understanding a person doesn't have to agree with us.
Yes.
The problem is most of the time when we're having a conversation with a person, we want them to agree with us. That's why we're mad at each other most of the time. We disguise it with certain things, but we want the person to agree with us. Because when you come in expecting that they not agree with you, you won't be as emotionally charged because now you know you have to express your opinion. We need to stop getting out and want people to answer the way we want to answer. So we need to ask ourselves, do I really want somebody or do I want a slave?
Yes.
Right?
Yes, and I had to.
That's what we gotta really start asking, right? Because as the young lady said, when we start communicating, when you got somebody that's asking you and they're not emotionally charged, you get mad at them, right? Because you're used to it. People used to not having those conversations with you the way you want to have them to Coach Sean is because they are used to people not really listening to them. You ever been on the phone with somebody and you don't say anything like, "Are you still hello? You still there? You still there?" You like, yeah, because they're not used to that, right? That's real listening, right? When you get really quiet and you block all those things out.
That's facts. Also, like touching on that as well, I used to be one of those people who would go to my friends so like emotional and just kind of like word vomit and just never ask them like, is it okay for me to come and talk to you or whatever.
That part, come on, be responsible.
I didn't realize it until I had a friend who did that to me, and it was hard for me to set that boundary because when I realized that she was doing that to me, it made me self-reflect on the way that I was treating my friends that I was going to.
Come on.
So it made it even harder for me to put that boundary up because then I started to feel like a bad friend. Like, how can I put this boundary up with her when I'm doing it to them? So now I have to put a boundary up with myself and be more empathetic with myself, be more caring, but also kind of take a step back and be like, okay, like my friends, if they tell me no, it does not mean that they don't love me. It just means they can't be here for me in this moment. And that is okay. So now when, I go to my friends, I'm just like, unless they give me that invitation, like I'm here for you, I'm listening or whatever, I don't put that on them. I'll be like, hey, what do you like? Or I make it mutual, like, what you going through? You want to have a vent session? Are you open to talking, like giving each other advice, feedback? Or if I'm going through something like, hey, are you open to listening? Like, can you do that right now? Are you emotionally available to be here for me in this moment? And it kind of made it did a 180 on my friendships. It helped me realize the people who really wasn't my friend and the people who really were, like, and then it helped me put boundaries with other people. And after a while, I just stopped feeling bad. Like, it's okay. We can't always be there for people that we love 24/7. So it was a hard process, but
yeah. Can we I'm sorry. Go ahead, Mr. Devin.
All I wanted to say, so now you're not only being emotionally mature, let's make up a term, right? You're being emotionally responsible, right? Because a lot of us have a lot of things going on and we just start dumping on them. I used to do that to my wife when I would get off work, right? And then she gently kind of told me how she felt about it. And since then I've been working where I don't do it, right? And if I do it, I've caught myself and I'm like, you know what, my bad, right? Because that's and it's a meme going around or post. The best apology change behavior, right? A lot of us get into the behavior of saying sorry, but there's no change behavior behind it.
Yeah.
And then
sorry,
also need to recognize that if the person is trying to change and we see them trying, we should acknowledge that, right? I see you still struggling, but I see you working, right? Don't be so rigid to try to keep the person to that standard, either do it or not do it, because how many of us have done things and got it the first time, right? We seem to forget these things when we communicate because we want what we want. But if we really got what we want, do you think we would really want it?
No.
Right. No. So if that's the case, why we spend a lot of time trying to break each other?
I feel like I can answer this because I just be like, okay, so I feel like we live in a society where people have placed like unspoken principle on things that just, I don't know, I kind of feel like we live in a society that really lacks empathy and really kind of lacks that self-awareness of being able to put yourself in other people's shoes or have multiple different perspectives. Like, a lot of people are so like ego filled and they cover it up with like, this is just who I am, this is the principle of the situation. And it's just like, I don't know, me personally, like I look at certain situations like I can be understanding, I can be empathetic, and I still could hold my value, and still give you room to grow. Even if you're not growing with me, even if we're not growing in the same space, I'm never, I'm still going to give you that space to grow and be better, because I've been that person where I've done things that I regret or I'm not proud of because I was ignorant or I was naive, and it may have hurt other people. And, it's like, but I'm not that same person anymore. So I don't, people just like get so caught up in just like their own
So
motives, I guess.
So let's look at it like this, right? Let's just say, for instance, this life is a freeway, right? And everybody is in their car, right? And you see some people on the side of the road, you see some people in faster lanes, right? So now you have to decide which lane you go in. You got the fast lane, they don't stop and they don't see anybody, right? We might got relationships like that, right? And then we got the next lane, kind of fast, they kind of see you, but they deal with you when they want to deal with you, right? And then you got the people that pull over for people, right? So you just have to decide what kind of driver you are, right? And once you decide what kind of driver you are, just live off that way. Because we all gonna get to the same place. It's just how we gonna get there.
Yeah.
I'm
sorry.
No, please.
I'm sorry. I also wanted to go back to, I saw a couple comments, Coach Johnson and Coach Cam talking about apologizing.
Yes.
Right? Once you get to another place of enlightenment, right? Greater knowledge, you do feel like that. Mm-hmm. I know I've done it.
Yep.
I've done it with people that I grew up with, like fourth grade, found them.
Yes.
Whole apologize. They didn't even remember. But I needed to do it for me.
Yes.
Right.
Amen.
And also there's times where I won't get responses. Right. So we have to understand the nature in which we're doing it. We're doing it from a pure place where we know, like, I acknowledge, right? I'm at a place where I can actually acknowledge what I did. It doesn't mean it's going to change the relationship or if that the person is actually going to forgive you or anything like that. But what it does mean is that you have shown growth, right? If I never get a message back, it's okay. I knew my intention, right? I came to understand what I did to that person. And now I need to make sure I release myself so that I don't carry the guilt anymore of what I did. Right? Does that make sense?
Can we also touch on, because I believe you touched on it earlier, and I thank you for that too, Miss Jewel, because it's like right now, like it's some friends that I want to apologize to, even though they also disrespecting me in some type of way, and I feel as though like we both was wrong in the wrong, and you know what I'm saying, and I understand. I know the person that I am. I know that I have changed, and I know I can apologize. I can man up for my things and my actions that I did. I can apologize for, but it's like I don't thank you, Cam, putting our pride to the side. But it's like I don't want to apologize and then it just get thrown in my face with some more disrespect on top of that. That's for one. And then two, I want to also talk about how to be emotionally available, not for our friendships, but also for our relationships too. Because a lot of us teenagers now, and if you feel like I'm talking about you, I might be pulling your card. But a lot of us in relationships now, whereas though we both have our own baggage and our own feelings from our past relationships, our past friendships, and we try to bring it in and try to hide that baggage and try to close it up. And with our new relationships, and then later on down the line, it ends up affecting us as a person and as a relationship as a whole. So being emotionally available for that person that you're talking to, or your friend, or whatever the case may be, that has to be something that you both guys you both need to talk about from the ex, or your best friend, or whatever the case may be. But becoming emotionally available for somebody is definitely important, because it's like I say if I'm an emotional person and I come to you and I bring my feelings out to you, and you're like, well, I don't know how to deal with that. I never really had to, I really don't know how to deal with my own emotions or my own feelings, So being emotionally available is important as well.
Can I talk about that a little bit from like just what I've experienced and me coming to terms within like this past year? Like I've been going to therapy since I was 16, and my last relationship, I was in high school, and I could not figure out, like, after high school, I dated here and there, but I could never really figure out like why relationships never stuck with me, or why like I will always attract the people who never really wanted anything serious with me. And I had to come to terms with the fact that I myself was emotionally unavailable. And one thing that I had to realize, the reason why I was emotionally unavailable, for one, I was scared to be vulnerable. For two, when you are emotionally unavailable and you have a lot of baggage and a lot of trauma, you are not living in your true authentic self. You are not living within your heart space. You are not, you know, just exuding who you are internally. And so that's a lot to unpack. And one thing I would say with like emotionally unavailable people is you cannot change them, you cannot make them emotionally available no matter how much love you give them, because that what they're going through is just a reflection of the relationship they have with themselves. So if you're dealing with somebody that's emotionally unavailable, I would say you can always love them from a distance, or you can run for the hills. But that's something they have to deal with within themselves, because no matter how much love you try to pour into them, they're just not going to be able to receive it. Everything's going to trigger them. Everything is going to probably cause a fight, because that's not something that they're used to. And it's really tricky, because when you're young, you don't really know that you're emotionally unavailable. Like you really don't understand. Like you get so caught up in like,
You're
oh,
still
this
you're
is
still learning your feelings. You're still
yeah, you're
learning who
still
you are as a
learning your
person.
feeling.
Right.
And then when you're going through this transition phase, especially like when you're going from like high school into adulthood, it's this weird phase that you go through where you really don't even know who you are or what you like to do, type of people you like to be around. Your food taste change and everything. So it's just like all of that combined with like trauma, it causes like this just gap in between how you want to love or who you want to be versus who you actually are. So it's just like, don't date nobody that's emotionally unavailable, okay?
I think that says a lot, right? As you were talking and saying emotional availability, it's like, when do you learn that? When do you actually learn what emotional availability is? Like, I'm thinking back to when I was a teenager. We didn't even have those words. Right? We went to school, we watched movies, you know, that was life. And we saw things that we wanted to emulate. So my challenge to us as we talk about relationships, and we'll talk even more about this as we go on, is what are we looking for in relationship? And what does relationship actually mean to us? Personally, right? Not globally, not this what my family says, but to you personally, what is a relationship? What does it look like? What are the interactions like? You know, get very, very, very specific. Because if I look at it, like my first boyfriend I was 10 years old. What did I know outside of what I saw on TV? Right? This person is going to hold my hand. This person is going to kiss me and smile at me and stuff like that. But what does all of that mean? And why do I need it at this moment? Right? So as you're navigating these things and you're looking to, you know, to be in companionship, which is beautiful, but what is it that you're actually looking for? And being very clear about that.
And I think, and I can't speak for everybody, you know, and I think I only speak for myself. I think a lot of us look for just, you know, the comfort of having someone else, you know what I'm saying? And not being alone, you know, being with someone, being there to cuddle and, you know, someone you can talk to and you cry on your shoulder, you know, that's not your mom or your dad or your cousin or your brothers and sisters, you know, someone that you can emotionally come and talk to. So that's what I feel as though a lot of us, you know, look for relationships, but then a lot of us actually have relationships where as though, you know, they're actually doing things together as a couple, you know, learning from each other and building each other, and, you know, helping each other. And, you know, some of them, some couples even break each other down to build each other back up. So, you know, it's different varieties of people out here that, you know, have relationships and their own definition of what a relationship is. But it's like, what is a relationship? What is a relationship, and what is it supposed to do for you? And do you need a relationship? Like, do you need one?
So saying that, right? So I think a lot of times, and it's just my personal opinion, A lot of times we in these relationships because we don't want to sit with ourselves, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Think about like, how we always try to find time to do something as a watch TV, or we always need to be doing something, right? So let's ask ourselves a question. If I don't want to be with me, why does someone else want to be with me?
Woo!
Right? And we keep switching out people, right? And it's not that the people bad, but they come to us when we don't really want what we want. Because like I don't even want to sit by myself. Think about it. Why can't you sit in the house by yourself? Because it's too quiet, right? So if they don't have peace in their own mind, how they gonna bring you peace?
That is facts.
If you don't have peace in your own mind, how you gonna bring them peace?
That's right.
Right?
That is facts.
And this ain't because I'm 45. You know what peace look like when you 15. But you don't listen because you want to buy into what everybody else doing and look cool, and you feel like you're gonna miss out on something. And sometimes you do, but a lot of times all you're missing out on is really being true to yourself.
Yep.
I can only say that looking back. Like if I was in it where y'all at right now, I'd be like, yo, you need to shut up, old man. I ain't trying to hear that. But what I'm saying is looking back, we just need to sit with ourselves a little longer, right? And if we sit with ourselves, we wouldn't deal with a lot of this mess.
No facts.
With these folks, we don't really like them. We might like the way they look, or we might like the way they smell, or we might like how they talk to us, but we don't really like them. But that's because we don't really like ourselves. And if you really like yourself, you're not going to settle for a lot of that. I don't care how sweet they are.
No, this is facts. And this is what I meant by like what I had to learn on my journey of like figuring out that I was emotionally unavailable. Because I always realized that I would get into like these little situationships whenever I did not want to sit with myself, whenever I felt like I couldn't be alone because I wasn't allowing myself to be vulnerable and be there for myself. So I would go and I would date, and then I'm halfway through, I'm like, why am I even here? Like I want to go home.
Right.
Like, at this point, like for all this, I could have stayed in the house. Like I should have just stayed in the house. Like, what is going on?
Yo, staying in the house ain't nothing wrong with staying in the house. Let me tell you.
No, it's not. You save a lot of
money. But staying in the, let me tell you, when I'm in the house, oh yeah, I got the speaker on. I'm making breakfast. I might be in my shorts, with a tank top on. You know what I'm saying? Make me some breakfast, and I might go take me a shower. I might lay up. You know what I'm saying? Go to my computer, do some work. Then I might watch some Criminal Minds. Like I love it. Like, I can be by myself. So but then the thing is, I can be in the house by myself, but I can't be outside by myself. Like I can't go out on a date with myself. Like go out to eat and do. I don't know. I just can't do that. But like in the house, I'm fine.
So if I may, you can't because you're worried about how it looks to other people.
Yep.
And even if you don't admit that to yourself, you're worried about how it looks. That's just my personal opinion about it. Because I can only say that because I feel like I can relate because I didn't go on a date by myself until I was 32 years old. And I'll never forget I went to go see Sherlock Holmes. And I went to go see it at the Rotunda, the center where the Center Bistro used to be, right?
Okay.
And once I did that, I felt so weird. But once I did it, I was so free. And really all it is, you want to be seen with somebody. But now if you take somebody along with you, you got to play by a different set of rules.
Yes.
What if you go out on this date and you don't like who you out on a date with and you see somebody else that got the potential? Now what you got to do, because you took somebody, you got to play by these set of rules. I say all of that to say, Black man, learn how to go out on your own.
Right. And spending more money. I can spend less on myself.
Yes.
I can spend my own $4 and some change on myself.
Right. Don't misunderstand me. Being with my wife is beautiful. But you can tell my wife's one of the first things I said to her. I said, you're not going to cost me my peace.
Period.
Like you're not more important than that. And I hope that you feel the same way. I'm saying to say to y'all at your age, if you draw your line with your peace, you're going to save yourself a lot of heartache. You're going to be ahead of the relationship curve if you respect your peace more than you want other things to go on.
Yeah.
If you make your peace non-negotiable, you're going to weed out a lot of the stuff that don't even need to be in your system.
Right.
That's facts. Can I also touch on one more thing before we?
Yo,
we got 10 minutes too, y'all.
Okay, no. It's gonna be way less than 10 minutes. I wanted to touch back on what Coach Johnson was saying about like when you're young and you're dating. A lot of people really don't talk about dating while being black and being black. and how it's very different socially, in the
Mhm.
way we process dating and stuff like that. Because
Mhm.
especially, well, black men, and also black women, like there's almost like this box that they put us in when it comes to expressing what we want, our needs, and things like that. Like I feel like when you're dating, when you're black, there's almost it comes up in a lot of different conversations. Like for a woman, like you can't ask for too much. I've been told my standards are too high. Is it because, do you really think my standards are too high, or are you just saying that because I'm a black woman and you feel like I don't deserve to be loved or valued at the highest form? Like, so it's just like a lot of young people will see that socially or like subconsciously and will lower their standards. So now you have so many people out here dating people who they're settling for. And it's really a generational thing, but out here dating people who they're settling for, especially in the black community, because they feel like they will never find that person who can be their Prince Charming or be their queen, because socially it's like we can't ask for too much or we can't ask for what we want.
So you said something, and I've never heard it in this way before. But you said the Prince Charming and the Queen. Well, why can't we just be friends?
Right.
Why can't we just learn how to be friends first?
Right.
You know, you want this mythical thing that somebody made up, and ain't nobody riding horses except for the Arabs out here in Baltimore, right? You understand what I'm saying?
Mhm.
The song thing too.
These unrealistic expectations on people that we're not going to get that. This is not Disney. It's not. Listen, Disney messed me up. I got into this relationship thinking
I'm gonna be happy.
You understand? The birds was going around my head,
and
singing all during the day. No, listen. My husband said, "Well, what did you expect marriage to be?" And I had to run it back in my mind, like, I had an idea. I wanted to get married. I wanted to have like 5 kids. Not now.
Say that part again.
I got one biologically and one bonus. I'm great. Right. We thinking about a third, but come on. Like, it's a serious endeavor. But when we're younger, we're just like, oh, this looks so good. And we're going to be going to all these places, right? And we're not thinking about, okay, yes, and we have to live together. And we have to get to know each other. And you're probably going to get on my last nerve, right? How do I manage when I don't want to be around you? How do I manage when I have something to say? And you're probably going to blow up. Or you'll say something to me and I might blow up, right? I thank you for bringing that up, because we don't have a blueprint when we start, and we don't do a good job of, once we learn these things, to pass them back down in a way that it can be received by the younger generation, and we have to do a better job with that.
So thank you, Jules. That was beautiful, right? I want to say, so now going back to the Hulk theory, right? All of the things that Jules just said, right? Now imagine both of us, the Incredible Hulk. We're not ever going to get along, right? Because it's your fault that I'm mad. It's your fault that I'm mad. Nobody's taking accountability for their own actions, right? And as Jules said, you know, you seen Disney, but I seen Disney too. And how you imagine is totally different than how I imagine. And there's still no conversation that's had between them, because we don't have those skills, right? Nobody wants to be emotionally responsible, right? Nobody wants to talk about anything, right? And this is why we got this. And as you said about dating black, this is why we got this cesspool stuff, right? Because we got all of these things that's going on, and all it takes is for one of them to say, well, how do you see this?
Literally, instead of assuming. Like, this is the power of communication and getting it and beginning to practice it, because you're not always going to get it, right? Beginning to practice it as you're young, right at this stage. Because communication never goes away. You are going to communicate in some type of way, whether it is through your words, through your face, through your body. You're going to communicate. And so you have to practice this thing. It is a daily thing. We're out here giving advice and telling you about our experiences, but we do this every day with each other.
Every day.
Sometimes we gotta be quiet.
Yes.
Sometimes it's the time to talk more. right? And we have to feel each other out. I think we're going to talk about intuition inside of these things too, because there's a part of us that we don't even tap into because everybody else is leading us.
Come on.
And you got your own internal voice,
right,
but you're not listening, right? Or you haven't been taught how to tune in. And that's important, because if the voice inside of you knows best and you listening to everybody else, you're listening to somebody else's guide.
Yeah.
Right? And totally dismissing your own. You were about to say something.
You know, you blew it up right there, right?
No, that was really
y'all on point tonight. Y'all on point. I really do appreciate
you know what she said right there. Plenty days intuition. Thank you. Yes, intuition. Right. My intuition will tell me sometimes that she don't want to talk to me. Right. Now, because I want to be my own individual, I talk to her. And you know what I get? I get my feelings hurt because she don't talk to me in a way that I wanted it to go. I ain't go down like I wanted it to go down. Right. So intuition. I check in. She don't really look like she want to talk. I don't talk to her. You understand what I'm saying? It ain't she silencing me. It ain't, oh, she can't beat me. So I'm going to respect where you at. If you my friend, I respect you. Right. You don't want to talk to me right now. I don't need to look at your face and you not looking at me and you can just tell me that so I can feel it. We need to check. We need to get over ourselves in these relationships, man. That's the problem. Is we me. Right. I say all of that to say, as you said, like, we navigate this every day. Yeah. All days on that sunny is other days.
They're not.
Yes. Can I also say that, like, I feel like sometimes when we have like certain type of relationships that we'll kind of use, like, say for instance, me and my friend get into an argument and she's communicating, like I said earlier. Now I'm just hearing like what I want to hear versus what she's saying. And now I feel like sometimes we may subconsciously use that as a way to kind of what's the word I'm looking for? Validate what we already feel about ourselves. So like if my friend tell me like, oh, like I don't like your tone, and now I'm thinking like, oh, she don't like the way I talk, even though that's not what she said. Now I'm gonna use this as a situation to be like, even though in my mind I'm validating all the negativity, even though that's not how she's taking it, and now I'm using that to kind of like fuel this. Instead of addressing how I really feel, I'm going to use this situation as a way to feed my ego so I can feel right, instead of just saying like, oh, well, that's not what she really meant. Now I've been waiting for her to say something so I can use this as a way to like validate my negative feelings so I don't have to address what's really going on. And yeah.
Y'all, so just saying that we just really need. It goes back to just not sitting with yourself. Like when you start sitting with yourself, you can evaluate all those things. It get real loud when it's quiet. It get real loud.
Yeah.
Man, look, I'm sorry to be the bearer of bad news. It is 6:58. We got like 2 minutes left. We had a fantastic session.
Yeah, I loved it.
Y'all. I really do appreciate you guys for coming on here. Like, we love this. Everybody in the chat love this. Guys, if you're in the chat, if you love Miss Jewel and Mr. Desmond, send me some green hearts in the chat for Miss Jewel.
I like green.
Send me some green hearts, y'all. Definitely go get their book. What is it called? Dear Black Men, am I correct?
Yeah, so we have two. We have Dear Black Men.
Dear Black Men, y'all. Go get that.
Dear Black Men.
And where can we find it? Can we find it on Amazon and everything as well?
You can, but we don't want you to go there. So you're going to go to dearblackmenbook.com.
Okay. Dearblackmenbook.com.
Yep, you can find both of them there.
Definitely, y'all. So definitely, y'all, go to dearblackmen.com. Okay.
No, Dear Black
Book. I'm sorry. Dear Black Book. I'm sorry, guys.
Dear Black Men Book. Dearblackmenbook.com.
Dearblackmenbook.com. Okay, so that's where you're gonna find the books. Again, we do jewels at the end of every session. So Miss Jewel, that's your name, and Mr. Desmond, you guys can give us a jewel. So you already know the routine. You gotta give us a jewel as well. And then I'm gonna go ahead and close this out tonight with a jewel. But again, guys, we really do appreciate you guys for coming on. You see the chat with the green hearts. We do appreciate you guys. So I really do appreciate you guys. See you guys again next Wednesday with Cam. So that'll be a fire session as well.
Well, we just want to first of all just thank you all for just being open, for being engaging, for being fire filled and just like dynamic people,
Ashe.
right? Thank you for doing your own work, right? You are your greatest asset. And the
Thank
quicker that you realize that, you'll start investing more into yourself. So that's
Yes.
the rule.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
I'm gonna say this, and I said it earlier. If they don't know peace, they can't bring you peace.
Period.
If you don't know peace, you can't bring anybody any peace. So don't be
Facts.
just out here trying to get with friendships or any of this if you don't know what peace is.
Facts.
Thanks.
So,
Okay, so I'm gonna leave this here. It's a little deep. Self-awareness is just the first part of self-healing.
Yes,
So
ma'am.
I just want y'all to sit with that.
oh, yo, listen, y'all.
Thank you.
Again, thank you again, Soul. Thank you again, Miss Jewel, Mr. Desmond. I really do appreciate you guys for coming on. Fire session again. I will see you guys again, Mission Monday or Mission Monday, right? Mission Monday.
Yeah,
and
we'll
then,
be here
and
all
then-
month.
all month, and then y'all back on here with Cam again next Wednesday as well. All right.
Wow.
So I appreciate you guys for coming on. Y'all, I thank you as well. I'm gonna go ahead and close out with my jewel. My jewel is just basically it's not cliche, but it's cliche. My jewel is
Give it to us.
my jewel is sometimes you gotta close a door to open a window. And what I mean by that is you gotta some opportunities, some people you might have to close, open up to be a better aspect in your life, to be a better person in your life. So that's just my jewel for the night, guys. Again, thank y'all again for coming on. I really do appreciate
Thank you
guys,
for having me.
you guys doing. Get their book y'all at dareblackmenbook.com. Check it out. Don't get it. You can get it on Amazon, but they want to get it from that website. Y'all
That's
get it from
right. Get it from us.
If you get it from us, you get it to be a signature.
Yeah, we sign our books.
Oh, see,
if
they
you get
see,
it from
they
Amazon, you don't
sign
get it
it.
signed.
We know if it's not signed, it's not legit. We know where you got it from.
With it too. All right, bet. So again, y'all, thank y'all for coming on. We'll see y'all again Monday, and we'll see y'all again next Wednesday as well.
All right.
All right.
Bye, guys.
Guys.
Bye.